How do you feel about egg prices?
I think they're pretty high.
I'm glad you have your own hens.
We bought them right before, we got these chickens right before the prices went up, so I think it's
Really?
good timing, yes.
Wow. Good for you. Can you bring any? Like, can you?
Yeah, I can bring you some, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome back. I'm Maria Garcia. I'm a College of Engineering ambassador and I'm studying mechanical engineering. Today we have a special guest.
I'm David Fikes, and I'm the instructor at UAH Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering Department. I've been teaching here almost 30 years, 7 years full-time, and before that I was a part-time instructor while I was working in industry. I've taught part-time for almost 45 years at Motlow State Community College, Tennessee State University, and here at UAH. As it ended up, my dad was an engineer and my mom was a school teacher, so I've kind of done both. And my heart is really in teaching. I've enjoyed it after I retired from Boeing. I came on full time here, and I love being here, and I like working with my students.
Really?
I do. I love to see the light bulbs come on when people learn. You can tell by looking in people's eyes whether it's the information you're trying to impart or lecture to them, whatever you want to call it, whether it's making sense or not. And that's why COVID was so difficult. And being online only. I chose to do the hybrid thing so I could make contact with the students, because some of the courses I teach are so important to see that feedback. Just like the computer gives you feedback, students give you feedback. I can tell a lot by somebody's expression on their face now after teaching for almost 50 years, whether they're interested or whether they're getting it or whether they're clueless or whether they're in trouble. And I try to help them. I try to help everybody I can.
Nice. Good. Excellent. Okay, so what would you say your favorite class to teach is, if you have a favorite?
Well, right now it's senior design, and it's Moon Buggy is our project for senior design. And every year we have a competition entry into the NASA HERC, Human Exploration Rover Challenge. It used to be called Moon Buggy. And we have to design and build a rover and do things with it, different tasks, and compete with NASA. And that's by far my favorite class, because it's a lot of hands-on experience. I mean, like this room here, and we use a UAH mechanical engineering shop to build these moon buggies, and students get to apply hands-on stuff in addition to what they learn in the classroom.
Coffee or tea? What do you drink?
I don't drink coffee except to be sociable. I drink tea and Coke.
You drink coffee to be sociable?
Yeah, well, if you go to somebody's house and they all, dinner or something, they offer you a cup of coffee, and everybody else is drinking coffee, I might drink a cup of coffee. But
So you're peer pressured into intaking.
no, I'm not pressure. I'm just trying to be nice. I don't want to hurt their feelings.
You should do that. Well, I don't think they're gonna get hurt. What you said, you drink tea though,
Oh, yeah, I
right?
prefer tea.
Favorite one? Go.
Just iced tea.
Favorite tea? Like what's, you mean like iced tea, like sweet tea?
Yeah, sweet tea, like homemade sweet tea.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, what do you mean? Like just tea?
I don't
Just-
buy tea in the store. My wife makes it.
Wow, amazing. Have you? So can I assume that you're from the southeast area?
Oh, I'm from Huntsville.
Oh, you're from Huntsville.
I'm from Huntsville.
You're
I
from
grew
right
up in
here.
Huntsville. I grew up in
Wow.
Huntsville, and then I left University of Alabama and took a job up at AEDC in Tullahoma, where I did wind tunnel testing and propulsion testing. And that was a lot of hands-on experience as well, a real great experience. And then I took a job back down here and worked with Rockwell and Boeing on Space Shuttle and the space station, various airplanes with Boeing, doing stress analysis with finite element method, and National Missile Defense and several other projects. But over my whole career, I got my master's degree from University of Tennessee Space Institute, and I started teaching part-time after that, in evening classes predominantly, and that's kind of where my heart went. And I still did my engineering job, but my heart was in the teaching. And so I said, well, when I retire from Boeing, if UAH will have me full-time, That's where I want to be.
What hobbies and interests are outside of engineering for you, and how would they kind of go into engineering? Like, how would they combine?
Okay, that's a real fair question because I have a small farm in Tennessee, have about almost 30 acres, and of course I have a tractor and
I thought you did them by hand. I thought you were going to do 30 acres by hand.
no, and so the tractor breaks and stuff, and I've got lawnmowers, and I have to fix and work on things like that, and I have some woodworking equipment and some shop equipment that I do home projects on, and yeah.
So are you like a carpenter?
Well, some carpenter, some metalworking too,
Okay.
and welding and things like that, which fits real nicely in with this.
Good, good. I want to keep bees. I want to do that.
I would keep bees, but my wife's allergic to them, so.
Ah,
But we have a garden and an
Nice.
orchard, and
Nice.
raise about 10 cows, and so.
you have cows?
And chickens and stuff like
Just
that.
chilling? Just cows just chilling, chickens just chilling?
Yeah,
You
well,
have your own eggs? I was going to say you make your own
Yes.
eggs, but you don't make them.
my wife's hens do really well. She's got 5 chickens, and she gets 4 or 5 eggs a day. I do have my private pilot's license, and I fly, and I enjoy that, but that's about as high as I want to go.
Do you have a, can you just hop into something and pilot it? Just,
Well, I'm qualified to fly a Cessna 172.
Okay.
I can't fly a jet.
Okay.
I can't fly a retractable landing gear plane. There's certain qualifications that you
Mm-hmm.
have to meet to fly anything, and you step by step. But I have a private pilot's license, so I can puddle jump around North Alabama.
sure. Are there a lot of buttons in there?
Flying is not really that hard.
Really?
You could do it. I mean, most
I could do it.
you could do it. Most engineering students, I believe, could do it. There's certain things
I'm gonna whip it.
you have to learn.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
Do you know about yaw?
yeah,
Yaw.
no.
Explain. Pitch roll yaw.
Oh, that yaw. Okay, I thought you were talking about some pitch roll and yaw.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
slang. It's
Yeah,
slang.
you talking about YAW? Okay, yeah, because if you don't have yaw when you bank an airplane, you have to have pitch and roll to have a coordinated turn.
Yaw.
Yaw. Yeah, you do.
Excellent, excellent. With the flying thing, do you think that we'll have flying cars? How do you think about what do you think about the traffic with that? Or people going on E and then they just fall out of the sky?
I have told my wife that, okay, if they made it legal for me to land at UAH in a small ultralight, I've got plenty of room at my farm to take off and land on a small ultralight. I could just fly to work. But I don't think they'll ever make that legal.
So, out of all the disciplines, at least the ones that we have here at UAH, which one would be ranked at the top and which one would be ranked towards the not top?
In engineering?
Yes, here, like the disciplines.
Ooh, that's a tough question. They're all important because
You can
of
be
course,
honest.
Aerospace and mechanical, of course, that's where I fit, but electrical is important, and
Sure.
I don't work in the chemical area, so I don't understand chemical engineering that well, but and I was in past may have said that ISE was not as important and not as hardcore as mechanical aerospace, but in my experience though has been that without those kind of people, things don't get done the way they should get done. You can't keep track of things, and so they're filling a very important role in the overall scheme of things.
For sure.
They may not be crunching equations, but they're helping get things done.
But they're crunching.
They're crunching. And if you don't have that kind of skills involved with a project like Moon Buggy, it doesn't get done
Yeah, absolutely.
because the purchasing and the reporting just doesn't get done properly, and it fails. And so I could not put anybody on the bottom of totem pole. Now, my grandson is 12. If I would tell him to go into engineering, I probably would push him toward mechanical or aerospace because
For sure.
you can get a job,
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
and you
yeah.
can work some interesting stuff. And mechanical, my master's in mechanical, my bachelor's in BS is in aerospace. A lot of personnel departments don't understand that most aerospace students can do practically anything that mechanical can do. And you
Yeah.
So you can't get past personnel to get an interview a lot of times.
So I've heard, and like correct me if I'm wrong or anything, but I've heard that sometimes aerospace students will just get a mechanical role, like they'll
Yeah.
sign up as a mechanical engineer.
Yeah, and here's an interesting thing. You'll love this. At Boeing, I was doing finite element modeling and of airplane parts or whatever I was working on, and to be a mechanical engineer sitting here, and if I call myself an aerospace sitting here, and a civil engineer sitting there, and we're all doing Patran Nastran.
Really?
Yes. So
So nothing is real. Like there was no.
so there's a lot of crossover.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Right. Yeah.
So
Okay.
you could be a civil engineer and still work on a Boeing airplane if you have the right skills.
Because of the stresses and the.
If you have finite element skills and stress analysis skills, you know, it doesn't matter what your degree is.
You hear that? You could do anything you want.
I mean, ISC could take finite element analysis.
Y'all hear that? Y'all can do
That is
anything
a
y'all
technical
want.
elective. You could do it, couldn't they?
Do it. Just do it.
You had to take
Just take
mechanics
it.
materials,
Yeah.
right?
We had to take it, yes.
If
Then
you had
take it.
mechanics materials, you can do the finite element analysis.
Congratulations. Excellent. One more question. What would you say to, kind of like a rising undergrad student or even undergrad students that are currently here that are looking for that discipline to fall into under engineering?
Oh, somebody like us, a freshman or something, or a
Or
sophomore?
even people who are just trying to figure out like which discipline should I decide on? Maybe they're undeclared.
UAH fortunately has some avenues where people can get experience with the internships and co-op and things like that. If you can find one of those and actually get to work with some engineers, it really helps. I was fortunate enough, I grew up, my dad being he was an aerospace engineer, but he's really very mechanically minded. I got lots of exposure, so it came easy to me because I like doing that kind of stuff. But for somebody who's just in school that didn't come from a background of that, I think maybe some of the student clubs like Space Hardware Club or I wish I could get undergraduate students involved with Moon Buggy. Because that would be great to have some carryover because every year I lose all my students and have to start over every August.
Start from scratch.
So if I had some, undergrads, I would love for them to be involved with it. They can't get credit for it, but until they take the class, but I would love to have some participation from undergraduate students. I didn't have finite element modeling when I was in school because Patran didn't exist.
Right. Yeah.
So when I was on the job and I was wanting to do it, get into that, I took a short course on my own and learned it, and then I got other engineers to help me learn it. And the collaboration thing we talk about in class is so important. Don't ever be stuck where you feel, I don't know how to do this, I'm lost. Reach out, ask for help. Other engineers will help you. Most people that are in engineering, they're there because I think they like to help people. They like to solve problems. And if you can help somebody else solve their problems, but technically, I think
Technically, for sure.
technically, I think it just reinforces what you know, and you're helping somebody else too.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Buggy used to be a race, and it was like a NASCAR race.
Yeah.
And you just showed up and you
whipped
weighed
it?
it and you make sure it fit in that thing and you had to assemble it in less than 2 minutes and then you hit the trail.
Okay.
And whoever was fastest typically won. But now
Nice.
you got to write the report, design report, the operation readiness report. You got to do STEM outreach. We go to schools and tell little kids about
Really?
the space program and about Moon Buggy and
I didn't know
about
y'all did
engineering.
that. Okay.
Yeah, we went to elementary school here, and we went to elementary school in Florence a couple of weeks ago
Okay.
on the campus of UNA.
Oh, right.
Right in the middle of them, we were recruiting right in the heartland of
Oh, wow.
UNA. And
Nice.
We do lots of things, and all those go into the points for competition now. So it's no longer just a NASCAR race. It's an engineering.
It's well-rounded.
It's well-rounded, and I really appreciate NASA. And like I said, it gives my students opportunities to do things they're going to have to do in the real world as engineers. And I need a variety of students to build these moon buggies. I need people who can do finite element modeling. I need people who can write reports and good at grammar, and people who can present, and people who can go to STEM outreach and work with kids, people who can do some welding, people who can do some machining, and of course John Buckley in our shop helps us some too. And I do what I can to help the students with what I can. But you know, I need people who have taken a bicycle apart or a go-kart apart, put it back together. And a lot of our students don't have that, and so I try to.
Okay, not to laugh.
I understand, because a lot of them that don't have the hands-on experience. I mean, I was fortunate I grew up with that kind of stuff, but a lot of engineering students don't. And so I try to get them down here and make them drill and tap a hole, put threads in it, and get them to follow around. Some of the students are more experienced at doing things in the machine shop, and try to learn some of that. And I'm not trying to make machinists or welders out of them, just get them the exposure so that when they design something,
They can think about that.
then it can be made. You know, you can design a part where you can't drill a hole in it. You know, and as engineers, you need to know the practical workings as well. And so I like to kind of emphasize that.
Well, this has been fun. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for bringing us down to the Moon Buggy realm.
Yeah. If you want to see the other moon buggies real quick, I'll take you out in the shop if you want to see them.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great. Are we going to be able to see you at any of the Engineers Week events or the E-Showcase?
Yes, I'll be
Showcase?
there. The Moon Buggy team.
Moon Buggy will be there?
We'll be there with it'll actually be a lot of what we talked about today. They should have their new rover there and that task tool that I described to you.
Okay.
And demonstrating it.
Really?
Yeah, I've charged them to have it ready to, show what it can do.
They're pulling up. They're coming.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
we're coming. Yeah.
All right, great. Excellent. Thank you so much.
I took that, not last fall, the fall before that. One of the most fun things I ever did was they teach you to use these machines in here, so I can help the students. And yeah, this is Sally Mae. We give them names. She's the one that won first place in 2018. And this was a little rover here that was built, quite different design, but it doesn't have to fold to fit in the 5x5 cube. Buzz over there and Sally Mae, they have a pivot point, and so they can fold up. But this one's so small that it fits. And that's my favorite rover to take to schools, because I can load it up in the back of my pickup truck by myself and sitting side by side. The students really enjoy that, and we let the students sit on it, and they just really, we disconnect the chain so they can sit there and pedal and not go anywhere. Yeah. But we went to Florence and we spoke to 160 students, and they all got their picture made on that moon buggy. And that, you could tell just the grin on their face, that made their day.